before we get started, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you never miss any breaking Dodgers updates the moment they drop. Because today's news is not just surprising, it's the kind of story that sends shockwaves through the entire baseball world and completely changes the direction of the Los Angeles Dodgers season. What we're talking about here is more than an injury, more than a roster move, and more than a simple update. This is a sudden twist that nobody expected, one that has already forced the Dodgers front office to make an emergency decision that could reshape the team's momentum, the lineup, and possibly even their trade deadline strategy moving forward. And it all starts with a shocking injury to one of their key stars. The news broke earlier this morning when sources inside the organization confirmed that the Dodgers star, a player who has been absolutely essential to their recent success, went down unexpectedly during a routine warm-up session. It wasn't during a game, it wasn't during a high-pressure moment, and it wasn't even during intense physical activity. It was one of those freak moments, the kind that catch everyone off guard and make the clubhouse go silent. Teammates didn't speak at first, coaches looked stunned, and within minutes the training staff was surrounding him, assessing the situation with serious urgency. No one saw this coming, and the expression on his face said something was wrong, and the Dodgers needed to act fast. Reports say that the player immediately felt a sharp discomfort, the kind of sensation that athletes instantly recognize as not normal. Even though the Dodgers have dealt with their share of injuries over the past few seasons, this one hit differently. This wasn't a depth piece, a role player, or a late-season minor league call-up. This was one of the core members of the roster, a player whose presence changes the entire dynamic of the team on both sides of the ball. Everyone knew that if this injury turned out to be serious, the Dodgers would have no choice but to pivot instantly and address the situation before it snowballed into something even bigger. As soon as trainers escorted him off the field, the Dodgers front office went into immediate emergency mode. Phones started ringing, staff members rushed into the executive offices, and within hours the team had to decide whether to wait for the results of imaging or take action instantly. The stakes were simply too high. The Dodgers are in a season where every game, every series, and every small detail matters, especially with the division heating up and rival teams strengthening their rosters. Any delay could cost them momentum, and that's something they simply cannot afford right now. By midday, confirmation arrived that the Dodgers star would need to be evaluated further, and while the team did not release full details, insiders close to the situation said the organization was preparing for the possibility of him missing several games or potentially more. That was enough to push the Dodgers into making an emergency roster move, and when that announcement came, fans across social media erupted with reactions. This wasn't a minor substitution or a predictable call-up. This was a bold move, the kind that tells you the Dodgers are not taking any chances and are ready to adapt instantly to protect their season. The team announced that they were activating a player who many fans had been eagerly waiting to see get another opportunity. Someone who had been performing extremely well in AAA, someone hungry, motivated, and ready to prove himself on the biggest stage. This wasn't just a typical depth move. This was a statement. The Dodgers are sending a message to the rest of the league that they will not let setbacks knock them off course, and they are willing to shake things up in order to stay ahead of the curve. Inside the clubhouse, players reacted with a mix of concern and determination. Several teammates reportedly checked in on the injured star, while others expressed confidence that the team could rally and push forward no matter what the obstacle is. That's the mentality that has kept the Dodgers at the top for so many years. They don't panic, they don't fold, and they don't allow adversity to define them. They adjust, they strategize, and they attack the problem head-on. Fans, however, were not as calm. Social media exploded with panic, speculation, and questions. What happened exactly? How long will he be out? What does this mean for the Dodgers lineup going forward? Can the replacement fill the role effectively? And perhaps the biggest question, will this push the front office to accelerate trade discussions ahead of schedule? Dodgers fans know better than anyone that one injury can change everything, and with the pressure of securing postseason seeding, every decision matters. Local reporters who witnessed the incident described it as sudden, unexpected, and deeply concerning. They noted that coaches looked visibly frustrated and players seemed rattled. When a superstar goes down, especially one who contributes significantly to both the offense and defense, it changes the entire chemistry of the team. It forces managers to rethink matchups, rotations, batting orders, and late-game strategies. And with the Dodgers already juggling a demanding schedule, losing a key piece at this point in the season is the last thing they needed. What makes this situation even more dramatic is the timing. The Dodgers were entering a critical stretch of games, facing tough opponents and trying to build momentum heading into mid-season evaluations. Losing a star player right now could easily disrupt everything they had planned. And while the replacement player offers upside, raw energy, and a fresh spark, there's no denying that the team just lost one of its biggest weapons, even if temporarily. The emergency move itself carries huge implications. Calling up a rising prospect or shifting veteran roles can create a domino effect across the entire roster. If the new player performs well, he could earn more playing time even when the injured star returns. If he struggles, the Dodgers might be forced to consider external options, including early trade talks. We know the Dodgers front office is never shy when it comes to aggressive mid-season adjustments. They've done it before. Blockbuster trades, sudden lineup shifts, and creative roster management have all been part of their strategy for years. And this injury could very well trigger another wave of conversations behind the scenes. As the news continued to spread, analysts across sports networks weighed in with concerns and predictions. Some believe the injury could slow the Dodgers' momentum, while others argue that this moment could ignite the team, giving players a reason to rally and push even harder. Many pointed out that the Dodgers have one of the deepest organizations in baseball, with an abundance of young talent ready to step in. But depth doesn't always equal experience, and stepping into the shoes of a star player comes with pressure that not every young athlete can handle. There's also the matter of how this affects the Dodgers mentally. A team's confidence can take a hit when a leader or playmaker goes down. It forces others to elevate their roles, leads to unexpected challenges, and changes the vibe inside the locker room. Yet, historically, the Dodgers have thrived under pressure. Their ability to adapt has been one of their greatest strengths. And if there's one thing fans know, it's that this organization doesn't back down from a challenge. As night approaches and fans wait for official updates on the severity of the injury, one thing is clear: this is a defining moment for the Dodgers season. Whether this turns into a short-term bump or a long-term setback depends heavily on the results of medical evaluations and on how the team responds in the coming days. If the injury ends up being minor, the Dodgers will breathe a massive sigh of relief. If it turns out to be more serious, the front office could be forced into some high-level decision-making much earlier than expected. For now, all eyes are on the star player as he undergoes further testing. Social media remains flooded with prayers, predictions, and speculation, with fans hoping the injury isn't as severe as it initially appeared. The Dodgers organization is expected to release a more detailed update soon, and when they do, we will keep you posted on every development. One thing is certain: today's unexpected injury has changed the tone of the season. It has raised questions, sparked debates, and forced the Dodgers to confront a situation no one saw coming. But if history tells us anything, it's that moments like this often bring out the best in the team. Whether it's a bench player stepping up, a rookie making a name for himself, or a veteran taking on more responsibility, the Dodgers always find a way to respond. As we wrap up this breaking update, make sure you stay locked in, because this story is far from over. The next few days will reveal the full impact of this injury, the effectiveness of the emergency roster move, and what it means for the Dodgers' immediate and long-term future. If you want every detail as soon as it drops, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss any Dodgers breaking news. This saga is just beginning, and you won't want to miss what comes next.